and parameters. Now, what, in my opinion, in fact, what unites semiotics with phenomenology? You know, the main thing in phenomenology is, of course, that it presents the universe as universe of objects, of phenomena, which exist only in its actual or possible reduction to some most essential points which cannot be given to us phenomenally. But that is so because phenomenology, in fact, was created by Kant, and is one of the varieties, probably one of the most fruitful variety of neo-Kantianism. But returning to semiotics, is there such a phenomenon? I am returning to three main, I would call it almost ontological or strongly ontologized entities of semiotics, of possible semiotical theory: sign, culture, and text. But is a sign a phenomenon? Definitely not, ladies and gentlemen. Sign is something which, shall we say, which waits, which aspires for its phenomenological description, but it cannot be described, strictly speaking, phenomenologically. We may only glimpse on some still remote possibilities. And the first theoretical possibility I see as a kind of attempt to establish side by side with sign one other absolutely necessary idea. I'm very sorry, how much time is left for me? 5 minutes, yes? 5 minutes, thank you very much. Sign, as I think it, cannot exist without that which is not sign or non-sign. It is absolutely necessary complementation, without which no semiotical theory can be created in future. I remember as some 30 years ago, I wrote one article. Even today I like it. It was, I must say, moderately stupid, but still I adhere to it in some of its points when I say, well, what if imagine that each and every object, from the point of view of semiotics, has such a quality, such a property as signness? Can we operate with that quality without its directly opposing to another quality which is non-signness? And even today, I think it is impossible. I think that, shall we say, the first ontological premise of a possible theory may be construed and constructed something like, well, of course, we see that signness, but there are a lot of objects possessing of non-sinus too, which means that we cannot see them. And that, shall we say, unseeingness of something in the objects we are trying to investigate, subspecies semiotica is a kind of absolutely prerequisite. So, the same with text. Text, in my opinion, in a purely phenomenologically speaking, must be de-universalized. If everything is text, then it is uninteresting. Then we do not know what we are investigating. So we have to single out a special category of cultural objects, which may be, for convention's sake, called non-texts, and which cannot be converted even in our boldest imagination into texts without some series of very complicated operations, which in my, as far as I know, has not been formulated. And finally, again returning to culture. Culture is, in my opinion, one of the most dubious concepts of semiotics. Again, for the same reason. That's what I started with, quoting Uldis Tirons. Culture has become, again, universal, particularly due to new, absolutely stupid fashion, like global culture. Yes, one American scientist, a complete idiot, of course, you understand it, says cosmic culture. Yes. But it is not a mere stupidity, it is a catastrophic lack of reflection. To study, to investigate, to experiment, yes, but never to reflect. And so we are finding ourselves in a new prison of cultural concepts and of cultural ontologizations. Ladies and gentlemen, my little, very little paper now is by no means a warning. I'm deadly optimistic character. Yes? I think that semiotics can develop and will develop and become something interesting or even very interesting again, but in a completely new form and in possession of a completely new kind of theory, shall we say, quasi-phenomenological theory, which would reanalyze, recheck, and probably re-establish some of its classical premises formulated at the beginning of the 20th century and universally applied in the middle and even in the end of the 20th century. Thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Опять начал болеть. Начало болеть.
Да?
А можно вынуть?
Там,
Вынем. Да. Да, Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your culture.
Нет, for my non-culture.